they put, like level 6, which is highest security level.
Really?
When they stick a barcode that starts with number 6 on your passport, means you go to the highest security search.
Jeez.
And they want to see every item you have.
Would you recommend doing what you've done to people who've got responsibilities or dependents?
Yeah, last time I checked, in a normal job, you don't take home more than let's say $1,500 a week anyway. On Uber, you can take home $2,000 or $3,000 a week.
Time for episode 5. I'm your host, Hazza, joined by my co-host, Muzike. Muzike, welcome.
Hey, Hazza, how are we tonight, bro?
Going very well. Muzike.
Yeah.
We're joined by another special guest.
A very special guest tonight, and I'd like to introduce you to Henry. Hey, man, how's it going?
Hi, Henry.
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good.
So, Henry, you've had quite an interesting last few years. You quit your regular 9-to-5 job. You took up another job that gave you freedom over your time to do and enjoy, to do the things that you enjoy doing. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, that's right, Hazza. It's called Uber driving.
Uber driving.
Everyone has heard of it.
Yeah. So what did you do before you were an Uber driver?
I was working all kinds of jobs, like as a forklift driver.
Yep.
Working at the airport, servicing planes.
Okay. Did you enjoy those jobs?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed my jobs. Yeah.
Okay.
But one thing those jobs lacking is the freedom.
Freedom.
In the sense of controlling your time.
Yep. So you made a decision to quit your regular job. You resigned from that position. And how did you find out about Uber?
Well, Uber came in early 2015. At that time, it was already popular and they needed driver.
Excellent.
At the time, it was skyrocketing in demand and they were screaming for drivers.
Yep.
I naturally got into it just to give it a go.
Excellent.
Didn't know if I would like it or not at the time, and I made it work ever since.
And you love it.
Yeah, now it's like 6 years later and it's still working.
Well,
Still working out.
Yeah, it's still working out.
And tell me about your hours now that you're doing Uber. What sort of hours do you work a week?
The hours is more like my own terms, so online, offline, whenever I feel like it.
Yeah.
It's more like emotional type of
Cool.
timing,
Yeah.
not based on someone else's time.
Do you enjoy this job more than the other jobs you've had?
I say equally, but the only unique thing about this job is more in control.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Like 100% control of my time.
And you're your own boss and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I can just
start whenever you want and finish
holiday.
whenever. Yeah.
when I want.
Yeah.
So you're your own boss. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yep.
Yeah, on Uber it works by ABN,
Okay.
like Australian business number.
Yep.
Sole trader, I think.
Yeah, sole trader.
How have you found Uber to deal with? Are they nice? Do they care about your welfare? Do they check in on you to see how you're going?
Yeah, we're always in touch once in a while,
Yeah.
like via email most of the time.
Okay.
And most times it's all about passenger issues, like
Sure.
they lost an item.
Sure. Do you find Uber supportive of you
Yeah,
Yeah.
They do whatever they can, yeah.
to help out and make sure that you're doing fine as a worker?
Mm-hmm.
They've got your interests at heart. That's good. And what about the passengers themselves? How are they? I bet you've got some stories about some passengers you've had over the years.
Yeah, passengers are required to be well behaved at all times. Like they get kicked out on Uber if they don't.
Yeah.
Get their rating. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a rating system both ways.
Oh, so the drivers and the passengers are rated.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
so-
Both ways, yeah.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. I know that you really enjoy traveling. You've probably traveled to more countries than anybody I know. How many countries have you been to in total?
Oh, 98 countries.
98.
Wow, that's a lot, man.
How many countries have you been to, Muzike?
I've only been to one, actually, Singapore.
Well, 2 including Australia.
Well, I was born here.
You were born here, yeah. I've been to a few, but certainly not to as many as 98. But Uber's great in the sense that, you know, you've got that freedom, haven't you? You don't have to wait for 4 weeks of annual leave to pop up. You can just sort of decide whenever you want to travel.
Yeah, it's way
No way.
easier.
Yeah.
Travel.
Another interesting thing is that you can pay yourself whenever you want to cash out.
Ah, yes, that's right. Yeah.
How does that work?
So just your daily earnings, you can just press cash out and then you get paid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you can choose your own payday. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
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 Or you can wait every week.
Yeah. So do you think you could ever go back to a regular job after having worked at Uber for so long?
Not yet, anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
So far, Uber has been paying good.
That's great.
Yeah.
We know that the other thing with Uber, you've got Uber, the taxi service or the rideshare service. You've also got some other services provided by Uber, Uber Eats, the food courier. If you were advising someone who was just starting out, what would you tell them to do? Uber Eats or Uber Rideshare?
Oh, someone who's starting out, probably
Yeah.
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats? Why is that?
Oh, so that you can work for yourself for a bit
Okay.
without dealing with anyone.
Yeah.
And then when you're more comfortable with your area, with the mapping,
Yep.
with how the apps work, then you can jump on the more interaction with the public.
With the public,
on the right share.
Because I guess Uber has to train you a little bit about how to deal with passengers and deal with the public, how to be courteous, or do you just have to learn that yourself?
Oh, yeah, that one is self-taught. Yeah.
Self-taught, okay. So your rating, your earnings, I guess, depend on your rating, and to get that rating, you've just kind of got to provide a good service, don't you, to your passengers?
Oh, no, it's not based on rating at the moment. It's one of those industries where there's a massive shortage at the moment.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's nothing to do with the rating at the moment. Like,
Oh.
as long as the rating doesn't fall below 4.7 for a driver at the moment, it's sweet.
You do quite well at Uber, I've heard. You've managed to earn quite a bit through Uber, probably more than you could earn with some of the other jobs you've had. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, you're looking at $2,000 or $3,000 Australian dollars a week.
And
But that's before tax and GST and all that.
Yeah, that's already after paying Uber their cut.
okay.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that is what appears in your bank account every week.
how much do Uber take?
At the moment, they're taking 22%.
How do you feel?
And
about
if you're a
Yeah.
new driver, they'll be taking 27.5%.
27? Oh, do you think that's right, just right, or too much, or not enough?
Oh, Uber claims that's what they need to continue operation since they have a lot of staff in the office
Yeah.
and the app running.
Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I believe it's true.
Okay.
But it does seem a lot though. 27%.
Yeah, they do have the most advanced technology
Yeah.
in the app, and they're always exploring on new technologies as well, like driverless cars and.
That sort of thing. Do you think you could earn more money as a conventional taxi driver?
Oh no, taxi drivers have a lot more expenses. Other than dodging taxes on the cash payments.
Yeah. They're getting cash all the time.
On a quiet night, they kind of risk it because they have to wait somewhere physically.
Yeah, fair enough.
They have a lot of expenses, licensing fees, something that Uber doesn't have.
And how does the taxi industry feel about you? Have you ever had any experiences with taxis, unsavory experiences or aggression or anything like that? Or have you had a good relationship with other taxi drivers, regular taxi drivers?
Oh, no, that's a thing of the past now.
Okay.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was a bit rough, yeah. Not me personally, but I have heard stories of how they try to run over some other Uber cars.
Run them off the road.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite intense.
I guess they may have felt that Uber was taking their work, I suppose.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, Uber did take their work, literally.
Well, the thing is, the taxi industry failed to adapt and change. So this is what they get. They didn't come out with an app and all that, just like Uber. So, Uber's leading the way in rideshare right now.
Providing a service to the public or to the consumer, not the public, but to the consumer.
Yeah. Whoever's got the app on their phone.
Yeah. Because I know that in Melbourne for some time Uber was outlawed. It was not permitted to operate. Was that right? in Melbourne for some time.
Oh, not aware of that.
I think it was in London. It was
in
overseas.
London, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In London, they...
There was big protests actually. Yeah, the taxi drivers are protesting that they didn't want Uber to operate and all that, saying that they're taking their business away. So, yeah.
It is true, yeah. In Melbourne, they had the lawsuit against Uber. Taxis had a lawsuit, a $500 million lawsuit against Uber.
Were they successful?
Don't know how that went, but presumably unsuccessful. Because Uber is still running in Melbourne at the moment.
Well, I know that I think in the New South Wales government, they've regulated Uber like rideshare industry now. They've all implemented rideshare, so point to point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a sense, perhaps you've taken work from taxis, but the threat now to people that work for Uber is from AI and driverless cars. Can you talk to us a bit about that? How do you feel about driverless cars? Being an Uber driver, yeah, what do you think's going to happen there?
Well, driverless cars are supposed to take Uber drivers' job, like in person, replacing the human drivers. But through the test, they realized that it's not going to work out.
Why would that be? Safety or some hiccups along the way? Or
yeah, ever since they have ran over a few people with the driverless cars, it feels like they kind of stopped talking about it at the moment. They stick on the human drivers at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think they're going back to the drawing board and try and figure out how to fix those issues. Because they've got the scanning technology and all that.
Yeah.
In their driverless cars, and the camera just didn't detect some of the stuff in there. So,
so if an Uber car that was driverless was driving down the road and there was an adjusted speed limit because of roadworks to 40 k's an hour or something, could the car, for instance, detect that?
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, they have trouble doing that at the moment.
They do have trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not even able to. I've seen a footage of running over a person walking across the road with a dog.
Wow.
And it didn't pick it up on the scanning.
Yeah, it didn't
camera.
pick up on that. So.
And what was the driver? Was there an operator or a person in the car?
Yeah, there was a driver in the car.
But monitoring. Yeah. And then it just ran over the person. This was in the States actually.
But could that driver have intervened? Or not driver,
but she happened to be on her phone at the time, watching her phone at the time.
Wow. So what was the outcome of that? Just out of interest, did you follow that case to the end? Do you know what happened?
They put everything on hold.
Was it her fault or the car's fault, the technology's fault?
Yeah, I have no idea what happened to that, but it is on YouTube, and it does feel like they're not going ahead with the driverless cars at the moment.
How would you feel, though, if, say, the 27% of your earnings that go to Uber was invested in the AI technology, in technology that could effectively rob you of a job or a livelihood? How would you feel about that, to put you on your toes?
Oh, well, that is a price that we're given to operate with. Like, it would be nice if they do give me like less commission or something like that, but... At the end of the day, it's still a comfortable living at the moment because of the popularity.
Of course.
The right share.
Absolutely.
But you obviously heard about Elon Musk, how with his Teslas, how he wants to turn them into robo-taxis or something where you sign up your Tesla car on his platform and you send it out to go work for you. And literally you're just at home sitting on the lounge watching TV and it's just making you passive income. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
Do you have a doggy sitting at home bored in Ryde or a surrounding suburb?
If so, then call Matt at Man's Bestie on 0430 563339. Search up Man's Bestie on Facebook or check them out at mansbestie.com.au.
Treat your doggy today and get in touch with Man's Bestie now. First walk is free when you mention the Late Night Fix. Hey, we know you love travelling, and you've just told us earlier you've been to 98 countries around the world. Amazing. just beforehand, we had some spicy chicken for dinner, and you spoke about how you travelled to Burma, and you had some spicy food there in a restaurant. Can you tell our listeners about that experience? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so I went to this Korean restaurant in Yangon in Burma, and they serve these spicy ramen soup.
Okay.
And they ask you what kind of level of spice you want, from level 1 to level 7.
Mm.
And at the time I chose level 7 since nothing has ever spiced me out.
Okay. So you're confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the only time I wanted to test out how spicy it can get.
How did the waitress react when you said 7?
Yeah, when I asked for level 7, the waiter was kind of shocked. Like, he had to confirm with me if that's what I really want. Like,
Do you really want the 7? Oh.
He kind of warned me, that's not, it's going to be too spicy.
Did you change your mind?
No, I went ahead with it anyway.
So you thought you could handle it, so
Yeah.
And
why not?
And so what happened?
Oh, I collapsed from that.
Wow.
From that meal.
Wow.
Like, straight after, I couldn't even finish it.
Gee, how did you, because I dabble in spice now and then, the spiciest food I've had, it makes your tongue go numb and sort of makes your nose run and your eyes water. How did you react to that level 7 spice?
Oh, I couldn't walk after that. Like, I had to rest a bit. My tummy was burning and...
Oof.
So did you end up drinking a lot of water or milk?
Yeah, I had to drink all kinds of water and, like cold water I could get. It was hot weather as well in Burma at the time.
Wow. That would have made things even worse. Would you do it again?
I'll probably do level 1 next time.
Level 1 next time. Yeah, I can imagine that would certainly have burnt. Do you have any other story? What other continents have you been to? You've been to South America. You've been to You've been to every continent in the world except for Antarctica.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
there's 6 continents in the world and been to 5 of them. The one I haven't been is Antarctica.
And when are you going there?
No plans for that yet.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'd be very jealous.
I wonder if they do tours there. Do they have anything like that that you can go?
I think P&O do a cruise close to Antarctica. I know Qantas used to do flyovers as well, which is pretty unique. But I don't know if you can, because Antarctica's sort of divided between several countries. Nobody really owns the place, and I think there are certain rules there about not inhabiting that continent. They want to sort of preserve it the way it is.
For research, I think.
Possibly, yeah, research and whatnot. So I'm not sure if tourists are allowed even to go there and just look around. But I'd have to get back to you on that. What's your favourite country in the world, Henry?
I like all of them.
You like all of them? You've been to Armenia, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been to Armenia.
How was that?
It's good. A lot of massages in that city.
Really? Wow.
And I assume you want a happy ending all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a clue. And you saw Mount Ataturk as well, which is where Noah's Ark is on. So Noah's Ark is said to have rested on the summit.
Noah's Ark, yeah.
Yeah, did you?
Mount Ararat is called.
Pardon me, not what did I say? I can't remember what I said. Mount Ararat, that's right. Yeah. So you saw that?
Yeah, it hovers above the clouds.
Did you climb it?
No.
Okay. Have you had any experiences overseas where you've been in danger?
Yeah, quite a few. Muggings and attempted robberies.
Wow.
And robberies as well, armed robberies.
Gee.
But that was down South America, was it?
Yeah, in Colombia.
Wow.
But that was my fault. Like, I was asking people where the ATM was, and all of a sudden there were 5 people behind me.
Wow. How much?
That's crazy.
Yeah, gee. So I guess 5 people, you would have just given them what they wanted and...
Yeah, I lost my phone from that robbery. And through the struggles, other people alerted the police and they couldn't go for my wallet because there was too much attention caught at the time.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of poverty in some of the countries you've been to as well. It's unfortunate that people have to resort to crime to survive, and certainly that's not a problem that we have in Australia. I guess people don't have to resort to crime. Sometimes if they're in debt, I suppose, or they might have a drug addiction, they might turn to crime. But Yeah, it's very sad. Were you ever moved by some of the social circumstances that?
Oh, not at all. It's not gonna prevent me from traveling. It does, however, like make me wanna hide my identity a bit. Don't wanna
Okay.
look more touristy next time. Like don't look too much of a tourist, and try to blend in with the locals more.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
don't stand out.
don't stand out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, you enjoyed going there, and
Oh, I highly recommend. Yeah. They say it's the highest form of growth
Traveling.
from traveling.
Well.
You learn all kinds of stuff. You see
Yeah.
things that you'll never see. in
did you
your
see
hometown.
any sexy girls around the beaches and all that?
Oh, definitely. Sexy girls are all over the world.
Yeah, true.
Did you
All
learn
shapes and sizes.
all shapes and sizes? Did you learn much about yourself
Yeah,
along the way?
arguably, yeah. You can say you find yourself by seeing the world.
Hey, you travelled to Israel
Yep.
after having been to Iran, and I know that when you entered Israel, you had some issues there because of some of the stamps in your passport. What happened there?
Oh, I didn't have a problem with the Lebanese stamp, but yeah, at that time they were at war.
Oh, they were at war. Okay.
Yeah.
Did it cause big problems for you at the airport?
Yeah, they ask a lot of questions, but they ask even more questions on your way out.
On your way out from Israel?
Yeah, it's harder to get out than to
Really?
get in, surprisingly.
Really? Why is that?
I guess there was too many people in line when you
Yeah.
first try to get into the country. And they would just ask me a brief question about what was I doing in Lebanon. And maybe because of my appearance and where I come from, holding Australian passport and all the other stamps I had.
So they were really confused.
I wasn't much of a threat for them. Like, didn't ring the alarm immediately
I understand.
when I first come in.
Okay.
But on my way out, they put on a big show.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
How long did they keep you at the airport?
Oh, they wanted to like see every item. They strip search me. They put like level 6, which is highest security level.
Really?
When they stick a barcode that starts with number 6 on your passport, it means you go to the highest security search.
Jeez.
And they want to see every item you have.
Did you catch your flight?
Yeah, I made it to my flight on time.
Okay.
Yeah, fortunately. Yeah. And they know my flight times as well, so they knew that.
Can I ask you how you reacted in that situation? How did you feel and how did you react?
Oh, I was quite calm at that time. I didn't take too much of it.
I guess you felt within yourself that you'd done nothing wrong and that you had nothing to hide. So,
Yeah. The officer was asking me what was I doing in Malaysia.
Okay.
I was like, everybody goes to Malaysia, but not to them. To them, it's like going to anything Islamic country is like a terrorist threat.
And after Israel, where did you go?
I don't remember. After Israel, I probably went back to somewhere in Europe.
In Europe. Okay. And I imagine then that would have been straightforward. I was kind of getting at if you had gone to another Middle Eastern country that perhaps there would have been problems if they'd seen you'd been to Israel.
Yeah, I think I went to Copenhagen from
a safe bet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I came in via Romania.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't too suspicious kind of routes for them than
Yeah.
if I was to come in from other Islamic countries.
It's a pretty cool thing to be able to travel. It's a privilege in a way to be able to see all these places and all the different cultures and all the history and all sorts of things that you can see. I bet especially when you're in Europe, you saw many castles and museums and quite a bit of history, I'm betting.
Oh, Europe is comfortable, yeah.
Yeah.
Any beginner travelers, I highly recommend Europe since it's safe, clean, comfortable.
Have you been to Amsterdam?
Yeah, I've been to Amsterdam, yeah.
Where are you
Very
going
popular.
with Muzika?
Yeah.
What are you getting
those
at?
special cafes, man.
Yeah, very popular. A lot of people on a bicycle.
Yeah. Yeah, those space cakes, they really make the trip worthwhile. I bet they're in Amsterdam.
Yeah, Amsterdam is interesting. Even the red light district in
Yeah.
Amsterdam, everybody walks around there with their kids.
Really? Wow.
The
Is this during the day or nighttime?
Day and night.
Okay.
Yeah. Nighttime is more visible.
Yeah.
since you can see through the windows.
Yeah.
Did you go to Anne Frank's house in Amsterdam?
No, I didn't know. I
That's
didn't know
okay.
what it was at the time.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. And so when you travel, what do you like the most? Do you like nature? Do you like history? Do you like
The food,
culture? The food? Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
The food? Okay.
Mostly about the food and the scenery.
And the scenery?
Pretty much just going there to eat, walk around. Nothing too complicated.
Favorite food?
Yeah.
What is your favorite food? Sorry.
All kinds of cuisines, like something that I can't get at home.
Yeah.
It's more authentic over there.
Yeah, like tasting their spices. Well, being from Sydney, we already experience all kinds of
Yep.
multicultural food, and going there again is just to affirm what you already tasted. But still different, yeah.
Still different. It must have been quite frustrating being locked down during COVID and not being able to travel. You must be looking forward to when international borders are opening up again.
Oh yeah, these borders open up like next month, but I'm worried about, traveling with the COVID rules in place.
Oh, why would that be?
It's not going to be as easy as what it used to be.
Yeah, I understand. And are you able to travel? Do you have the required vaccination status to travel?
No, I haven't got my second shot yet.
Does that stop you from traveling?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you
It
need
does.
to show
Full vaccination.
fully vaccinated.
Because this is an interesting thing. The tennis star Novak Djokovic has been in the press lately because he's refused to declare his vaccination status. And Daniel Andrews, the Premier down there in Victoria, has said because of that, not coming to Melbourne, not playing in the tournament. And ScoMo, our PM, has said, no, absolutely not. He can come into Australia and he can play wherever he likes.
Wow.
Yeah, so I guess there's a jurisdictional problem there, but it seems as if he doesn't have to declare his vaccination status to come into the country from overseas. But I guess from what you've just said, you're unable to leave. Is that right?
Yeah, unable to leave for me. Yeah. Special case with someone who plays tennis professionally.
I think it's very political.
Yeah.
In a sense. You've got a premier there who's from a different political party to the Prime Minister of Australia. So they're on opposite ends of the political spectrum. And so it might be a bit of, I guess, a clash between them. Maybe a proxy war, if you like. They're using Novak Djokovic as a pawn, in a sense, in a big power play. But anyway, yeah, who knows? That's politics, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully it will go away in the future, regardless of your vaccination status.
Yeah. Has that affected your work though? Because you've had one dose, and I'm guessing that working with Uber, you've got to collect passengers, you've got to go into restaurants and things like that. Do they ask you to prove that you've had 2 doses?
Yeah, surprisingly, it's not required to have full vaccination at all on the Uber,
Okay.
on the rideshare as a driver.
So they haven't got to that, saying that the drivers need to be vaccinated so you can continue being on the platform.
Yeah. I got my first dose just to enter the 12 LGAs of concern at the time.
Okay.
And that was one shot requirement. And since then, there have never been any other requirements regarding vaccination. And these days, don't even have to be vaccinated at all. Although we're in close proximity with the public and in a car, bringing strangers in the car and kind of close contact.
I guess they have to assess the risk, I suppose, and perhaps it's not a substantial risk. I'm not sure, but that might be the reason for that.
Yeah, we are required to wear a mask. But other than that, yeah.
But it's getting annoying, to wear masks every day, like especially when you're doing Uber.
Yeah. Most people wish they don't have to. Yeah. Can breathe more freely.
You were initially skeptical about the COVID vaccine, and you visited your GP to talk about it, and he convinced you, and so you then went ahead to get your first jab. But how do you feel about getting a second jab?
Oh, I'm not getting my second vaccination for a few reasons. One is I still think it's an unsafe practice to be vaccinating a perfectly healthy person with a relatively new type of medication or vaccine.
Okay, you feel like you're a lab rat in a sense that you're being experimented on. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, it still feels like an experiment. And secondly, more like a breach of personal freedom. Vaccination should still be a choice.
Mm.
And I want to be among the 5% who ensure that it's still a choice by not getting my second shot.
But another issue is that, if you don't get your second shot, you won't be able to go overseas. And I don't know how long that restriction is going to be in place for people to travel overseas.
Yeah, hoping that they will go away soon regarding vaccination. I don't know when, but it's not a good time to travel anyway at the moment when they have to do PCR testing, COVID, and then...
Have you done COVID testing before?
No, I have never done it, but PCR testing, I've heard about how there can be false positives. Let's say your immune system already conquered the virus, and the dead virus still stayed in your system for a few weeks or a few months, and it will turn out positive on the testing, although you already conquered the virus.
Have you spoken to your GP about the second dose, or do you think you will have a chat with them about this?
Our GPs are, in my opinion, they're swayed from the government. They're easily swayed by what the government told them to do. And
so you don't think they have much autonomy or control over their work or their practices? They're too heavily regulated?
Yeah, they're kind of encouraged to vaccinate as many people as they can. And there are GPs out there who don't encourage vaccination at all, I've heard. But my GP is encouraging vaccination. That's how I got my first shot.
So he's all for it?
Yeah, he's all for it. Yeah, he'll be all convincing for the second shot as well.
Yeah. But you did have your second dose vaccination booked in, but did you cancel it or you just...
Yeah, I just did a no-show to that.
Oh, okay.
It's not harming anyone.
Do you trust your GP?
Yeah, I trust my GP in all other aspects of health problems.
Okay.
When it comes to vaccination, COVID vaccination, that is, it's equally new to all of us, regarding of whether you're a GP or not, or whether you're in the health industry or not.
Till when you got your first vaccine, since then till now, nothing's happened. You're fine,
Yeah.
So, I mean...
That's correct, yeah.
So even if you get your second vaccination,
I'll be fine as well.
Yeah,
Most likely be fine as well.
Yeah. But then that's when you can go traveling.
I think...
if you want to go back, resume.
Sorry, Henrik.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, that is true. I'm most likely to be fine after the second vaccination, but I am in it just to prove that it is still a choice.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're doing this on principle by the sounds of it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Principle of...
Taking a stance.
Of making sure that it is still personal choice, whether you... It's the more they push it on you, the more you don't want it.
Do you think you're putting other people at risk of harm by not getting a jab?
In my personal opinion, if other people are feeling that I'm a threat to them because I'm unvaccinated, and then they should get fully vaccinated themselves. It's like they put their armor on.
I understand.
They got their armor on, and I don't need to have my armor on for them to have their armor on.
I know what you're saying.
So the kind of logic is they're saying that I should have my armor on for them to have their armor on.
Okay. All right. There's a lot of armor there that we're discussing. Yes.
Oh, you mean armor guard?
Yeah.
Okay. Some people can't get vaccinated, or the vaccination might not be effective in them because they have a compromised immune system or some kind of condition, something that stops them from getting a jab. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm there for those people. Some people cannot get vaccinated at all for this reason. But they have their exemption. There's this form called contraindication certificate that your GP can sign. But society is not even looking at that at the moment. They're just pushing vaccine on everybody equally. They're forgetting people who are allergic to those reactions.
Are they, because they're unprotected though, and you could get a second jab, are you putting them at risk of harm though? Do you think?
If they feel like they're at harm, then they shouldn't be out in the public at all or interacting with anybody.
Oh, that's tough.
It is tough.
You're laying the law down there.
They should get their vaccine then, if they're really worried about it.
They might not be able to though, going through what I've just said. But yeah,
I'm not getting my second shot for people who are worried about COVID. No way.
Okay, no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. That's fine. And you know what? You're certainly not the only skeptic out there. There are many people who think like this. So.
It is getting less and less. Yeah.
Okay, so what we've really heard tonight is it takes a lot of guts, doesn't it, Henry, to quit your job, quit the 9 to 5, take a risk, fall into a job that gives you freedom, you know. A lot of people don't have that option because they have to support a family. Would you recommend doing what you've done to people who've got responsibilities or dependents?
Yeah, last time I checked, in a normal job, you don't take home more than let's say $1,500 a week anyway.
Okay.
Let's say in $100,000 job.
Yeah.
In $100,000 salary, you take home about $1,400 a week.
Yeah.
On Uber, you can take home $2,000 or $3,000 a week, and you're working at your own time, your own hours.
After tax?
After tax, that's another thing. You're in full control of your tax. You pay tax as a sole trader, as like a business owner, and with that taxation rule, you minus expenses.
Yep.
But you've got to pay GST as well.
And GST, but you're in control of your expenses.
Yeah. You claim your expenses.
Yeah. Whereas being a worker, you get taxed from that week. You get some of them back like the end of the financial year. But you just notice you just lend your money to the government interest-free for the whole year. You get some of it back at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Whereas a business owner and a sole trader,
Yeah.
you get taxed on after expenses on what's left or the leftovers.
Okay. You've been blessed in the sense that the jobs you've had, you've enjoyed. You've never had an awful boss or colleagues that have made life difficult for you on the job or anything like that. Some people do have those problems at work, and maybe this is a great option then if you are in a toxic workplace, if you're not enjoying your job, if it's boring, mundane, or causing you pain or discomfort, I suppose, this could be a good option. A few other options I've heard about are Car Next Door, which is where you can rent your car out to people to use if you're not using it. And there's an app that's recently been released where people can rent their driveways as car parking to people in Sydney.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. Do you know much about that, Musike?
Yeah, well, I've actually heard it on the news just recently that, there are unused, car spaces, and someone created this app platform. And, you can list your car space or whatever on there.
Yeah.
And, people can rent it out.
All these little side hustles.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Uber Eats, we got, and then Car Next Door.
Car Next Door.
Yeah. You got Go Get as well.
Yeah.
Go Get. What's Go Get?
So it's a car share thing where it's council's approved it. I'm sure you've seen it on the streets. Some areas where there's like the sign poles saying car share, and on the actual road it's printed saying like car share or Go Get.
Okay.
And so it's like an app, like just like Uber, So you want to hire a van or whatever, or a car.
Yeah.
You just jump on and and it's on a map and it locates where you are and where the cars are.
Airbnb is another good one as well. Yeah.
I've been in Airbnb. It's pretty cool, convenient. Yeah.
Henry, have you tried Airbnb?
Yeah, someone else's account though, not my own personal account.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. I'm used to being comfortable in a hotel where I know I'm not going to get rated.
True.
Because Airbnb does have a rating. It means that I have to clean at the end of the day or at the end before my departure. Making sure everything is clean, making sure my score will be a top score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never have to worry about that in a hotel. I stuck with the hotels.
Stick with him.
So you love hotels?
In my travels, because I don't want to have the idea. I don't like the idea of cleaning up.
Have you used the bar fridge, like the drinks and the chocolates in there?
In a hotel with a mini bar, yes.
Yeah, that's it.
A lot of that, yeah. They are a lot more expensive, but
it is, yeah. But you know what you could do is, as a smart move, is have the chocolates, drinks, whatever, and then go to Woolworths and buy the
Replace
exact same
them.
and replace them.
Ah,
Ooh.
good idea.
You're smart.
I actually did that with a
Man,
friend
was
of
it
mine many years ago when we were down Melbourne.
Very cheeky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good idea. That is a good tip.
I think you're giving everyone sneaky ideas.
But the time you take to find the exact one in the supermarket is
No, it's the exact same one.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you can find it,
Yeah. Like
Some of them
say
have
Cadbury
unique- yeah.
chocolate bar, like say I think it's 120 grams or something. You can exactly find that one. Yeah.
Mini
Yeah.
fridges are such a rip-off.
It is, man. It's so expensive.
double the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I note your point about Airbnb. There was one guy that got in trouble recently because he was secretly filming his guests.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Creepy. Yeah, but I think they're getting onto that now.
Yeah.
Any more tips and tricks, Muzike or Henry?
I don't
Tips and tricks for what?
Oh, saving money, making money.
Ah, making money.
you probably know that. Yeah.
Get into crypto.
We're going to save that for next week because we're going to have you back for a panel next week with some other guests of ours to talk about crypto and some of the things that are making their mark in the crypto world.
So it's basically a side hustle.
Another side hustle in addition to Uber. Yeah, so many different ways to make money now in the 21st century to make ends meet or just to make some extra income on the side. It is expensive, as we noted in our last episode, to live in Sydney, especially right now. Costs of goods and services are rising, and so somehow side hustles allow us to afford these things.
Yeah. I mean, you got to come up with ideas. Try and make money on the side as well.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Henry, thank you once again for coming in to join us. We'll have you on again sometime soon, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, thanks, man.
Pleasure.
Thanks for coming on this episode. It's good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Signing off, thanks so much for tuning in to the Late Night Fix. I'm your host, Hazza, joined with my co-host, Muzike and Henry. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Yeah, I'll pay for it.
Oh,
yeah.
you paid for everything.
Being a man, I'll just pay
Well,
for everything.
Is that prostitution, really, then?
Yeah, it is prostitution.
Basically.
It is prostitution.
well-
You're exchanging.
Oh, yeah, users, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Of course it is.
The
Chivalry.
word for that is called gold digger.
He says, I'll be blunt. The next stage is a coffin. He is trying to bring the entire bloody human race into conformity.
And how far would you go?
I would die for my freedom.
It's either that or live under the tyranny of mongrels like Hitler or Stalin. Pure mongrels.